Of course, more answers for you too. Too many ants in the car. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do with this. Yeah, there's a tree and wood here, but I don't know how to get rid of ants from my car. It's ridiculous. I don't know what to do. I'm so tired of trying to...
Researchers with the American Cancer Society found that they're more prone to a number of cancers, including breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, and gastric cancer. The study published Wednesday in the journal Lancet Public Health illustrates the need to study exactly what factors are causing the increased risk. In other health-related news, researchers in Japan say they may have found a link between symptoms of autism spectrum disorder and umbilical cord blood. According to a news release from the University of Fukui, the levels of a certain fatty acid in the umbilical cord blood during pregnancy appears to have an impact on developing ASD. This finding could pave the way to better understand how autism develops in children or developing tests that predict the likelihood that a child will have it. That's your Healthy Minute. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Telling the Black American story.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. Geico makes car insurance easy as as spending the whole yoga class in child's pose.
Go ahead and lift a plank and transition your way to side plank on the right.
I'm gonna stay right here, curled up in a ball on the ground.
Lift your left leg.
Nope,
And your left arm.
not for me.
And take 5 deep breaths.
Oh, that part I can do.
With 24/7 emergency roadside service, it's easy to Geico.
If it's in your practice, now would be the time to go into a headstand.
I'm out.
I'm Terry McCready on the Black Information Network, encouraging gun owners to lock it and store it. Gun safety starts at home. Keeping guns out of the reach of children could save their lives. Time now for another crime prevention safety tip. Don't advertise vacations on social media. It's okay to share memories, not your absence. Safety starts with you. Share your tips at #LockItUp.
Rosemarie McCoy is Black Excellence for the Black Information Network. I'm Kevin Brown. 9:10 a.m. KKSF, Oakland, the Black Information Network.
Because the
Listen at
police doing
BINnews.com or
illegal
tell your
stuff.
smart device to play the Black Information Network
Of course,
on
they let everybody
iHeartRadio.
else do it too, because it's the scene of not law enforcement.
I'm Doug Davis with the latest from the Black Information Network. An announcement about Vice President Harris's running mate is expected tomorrow. NBC News reports an announcement could come ahead of their first rally together in Philadelphia Tuesday night. Meanwhile, Vice President Harris's husband is admitting to an affair during his first marriage. The cheating allegations were first reported in the Daily Mail. In a statement, Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff acknowledged that he and his first wife, Kirsten, went through some tough times on account of his actions, but that he took responsibility. Orange County, Florida deputies are searching for a missing 4-year-old black boy. Amir Baptiste was last seen this morning. He's 4 feet tall, 40 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was wearing green pants, a dark blue onesie top, and white socks with no shoes when last seen. Anyone who sees a 4-year-old should call 911. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network at BINnews.com. And I'm Kevin Brown with your home for 24/7 news, the Black Information Network.
The Biden administration is continuing its push for a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas amid rising tensions in the Middle East. In an interview with ABC's This Week, White House Deputy National Security Advisor Don Finer said a ceasefire in Gaza is priority number 1 in the conflict.
That remains job 1 for us, right alongside the work that we're doing to defend Israel from a potential outside attack.
This comes after Hamas and Hezbollah leaders were assassinated recently. Iran has vowed to retaliate against Israel reported killings. Weiner said the administration remains committed to reaching a ceasefire while acknowledging the U.S. military is prepared to assist Israel in a potential conflict.
The Pentagon is moving significant assets to the region to prepare for what may be another need to defend Israel from an attack, while simultaneously we are working very hard to de-escalate this situation diplomatically.
He says a Gaza ceasefire would be the best thing for Israel's own national security.
Donald Trump is facing criticism for questioning Kamala Harris's racial identity. In an interview with CNN State of the Union, California's Black Democratic Senator LaFonza Butler said the former president's comments were despicable.
Not
It
even
is
an
an insult.
emergency.
It is despicable. This is a woman who is born in Oakland, California,
be
who
by
has
example.
declared and lived proudly all of her identities her entire life.
She said Trump's rhetoric distracts from the real problems facing the nation. The contrast between the two presidential candidates couldn't be clearer. Trump, during an interview with the National Association of Black Journalists, claimed Harris had turned black after identifying only as Indian for years. Butler said this line of attack is the only card Trump can play when criticizing the vice president. Butler said the vice president will be able to push back on Trump's comments when they meet on the debate stage.
All right, well, Pennsylvania's Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro is pushing back at GOP Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance over a weird insult accusing him of imitating former President Obama. The popular governor from the swing state is also on the short list to become Vice President Harris's running mate. Vance criticized Shapiro for his, quote, bad impression of Obama when asked about a potential Democratic rival during an interview on the Full Send podcast. At a recent news conference, Shapiro said the criticism was odd since Obama is a historically gifted orator. He said, as for Vance, it's really hard being honest with the American people when you're not being honest with yourself.
Former President Carter hopes to cast a vote for Vice President Harris in November. That's what his grandson, Jason Carter, told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The 99-year-old former president is reportedly trying to keep going solely to cast a ballot in the 2024 election, which is more important to him than making it to his 100th birthday on October 1st. His grandson said Carter has been more alert and interested in politics along with the war in Gaza in recent days.
Actress Sharon Stone and black long jump icon Carl Lewis both voicing support for Vice President Harris's presidential bid at the 2024 Paris Olympics Peace Gala. Lewis said women always hold everything together. He said men have started wars, and it's important for someone like Harris to lead the nation. I'm Terry McCready along with Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On the Bay Area's BIN 910.
Around northbound 101 approaching Hillsdale, we have two cars involved in a crash that's blocking the two left lanes. Looks like a signal alert is in effect too. Traffic slows at Whipple Avenue. You're looking at least a half-hour delay. You may want to think about using El Camino Real or 280 in order to get around that delay. Also, Redwood City, southbound 101. This is at the Whipple Avenue off-ramp. We have three cars involved in a crash there. All of the vehicles are on the shoulder of the off-ramp, but we continue to see some sluggish traffic through the area. Again, that's southbound 101. Taking a look at your ride in San Leandro, we just got word of two cars involved in a crash. This is eastbound 580 near 150th. Again, two cars tangled up here. And emergency crews are on scene, and looks like the two right lanes are blocked as well. With Bay Area Traffic, I'm Rick Batiste for the Black Information Network.
Versus Black Voice, the Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Amy Brown on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. San Francisco Mayor London Breed is offering the homeless a ticket out of town. The mayor earlier this week moved forward with her Journey Home Executive Directive. The directive orders all city departments and staff to offer relocation services in the form of a bus ticket out of town to homeless people before offering them shelter in the city. Part of the reason for the directive comes from new numbers that show there's been an increase in the number of homeless people in San Francisco coming to the city from elsewhere. Breed says San Francisco shelters are quickly reaching capacity. And repairs continue at the Oakland BART station following a fire that triggered numerous transit delays. Transit officials said Thursday that the fire in the electrical room at the 12th Street station last week was caused by an older gap breaker station that had been stated to be replaced. The fire caused 4 BART stations to be closed through the weekend,
causing delays that were still being felt on the system well into the middle of the week. BART officials say the fire showed them that they have to move quicker to repair and replace aging equipment at numerous stations. And former CNN host Don Lemon is suing Elon Musk for canceling his show on the billionaire's social media platform X. The suit, filed earlier this week in San Francisco, accuses X of using Lemon's name and reputation to attract advertisers to make a profit. The first episode was recorded in March with Lemon interviewing Musk. The next day, according to the suit, Musk canceled the deal, which had promised Lemon $1.5 million annually, along with a percentage of the ad revenue. And the alleged bookie at the center of the betting scandal involving Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter is expected to plead guilty next Friday. Attorney Diane Bass is representing Matthew Boyer.
Government counsel and I have been working on this plea agreement for a very long time. Mr. Boyer is looking forward to accepting responsibility for his actions.
Boyer, a San Juan Capistrano, California resident, is facing federal charges for operating an unlawful gambling business, money laundering, and subscribing to a false tax return. He is facing up to 18 years in prison. Boyer is accused of taking bets from Ohtani's ex-interpreter, who earlier this year admitted to stealing almost $17 million from the Dodger star to cover gambling debts. And Monterey County health officials are warning folks about the uptick in COVID-19 cases as kids get ready to head back to school. Health officials say the numbers of COVID-19 cases are on the rise locally, which tracks with state numbers that show there's the highest number of COVID-19 cases around California since the summer of 2022. Doctors say most cases are mild, but reminding people to take precautions as kids get ready to head back to class. Listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Mimi Brown on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
African American patients only have a 25% chance of finding a bone marrow match. Make a difference and join the National Bone Marrow Registry at bethematch.org. That's bethematch.org.
Black news every 30 minutes.
The Black Information Network, the Bay Area, BIN 910.
I'm Bill Black with another Bet You Didn't Know Music Fact. All right, class, today let's talk about the song that got away. So, this is new edition. You know, Ronnie, Bobby, Vicky, Mike, Johnny, Brown. They've given us throughout the years, like Keep It in Love, Easy Girl, Gave You That Right. There was a song that was written with new edition in mind, but just got away. Let me explain. Let's take you back to 1985 and the movie Crush. Starring Larry. Rappers like LL Cool J, Run DMC, the Fat Boy. Even New Edition was in the movie. Producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were asked to write the ballad for the love scene in the movie. But due to contract negotiations, New Edition's label would not allow them to record the song for the soundtrack. The song instead went to the Force MDs. The song, Tender Love. I'm Bill Black with another Bet You Didn't Know Music Fact on the Black Information Network.
Speak out about what's happening in your community. Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN.
News for us.
Protesters gathered for a Justice for Sonia Massey rally, urging Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. News by us.
Simone enjoyed the sport, but I didn't think that we were going to end this at the Olympics.
Because no one can tell our story like us.
I don't think crime is down. Something happened every day in Memphis when you need to know.
Trust the Black Information Network.
Oh, come on.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app. In the U.S., Black adults experience the effects of heart disease more than any other racial or ethnic group. Merck is researching an investigational medicine to see whether it may help lower the risk of serious heart problems, like heart attack or stroke. The research study is enrolling adults aged 18 years or older. Talk to your doctor today and find out if you may be able to join this clinical study. For more details, visit coralreefstudies.com/outcomes. That's coralreefstudies.com/OUTC.
He works with the Washington football team as a senior vice president. I'm Weston Show for the Black Information Network.
The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees. Now it's time to bring the funk with Roland and Smarty.
Donald Trump came to Chicago to speak to the National Association of Black Journalists, and he showed us exactly who he is. First off, the event happened 35 minutes later. Trump came out and claimed that it was bad audio from NABJ. Well, the truth is, the Trump folks were complaining backstage with political fact checking him in real time. He wanted to be able to lie and did not want to be fact checked. And then he comes out, and what does he do? In less than 30 seconds, he insults ABC News' Rachel Scott. She asked him a credible question about the racist comment that he's made to the journalist. That what we do was the usual nasty, despicable, shameful, lying act that we've seen other places. What happened is exactly what I predicted. Donald Trump behaved exactly like we expected. For him to step on that stage and question the blackness of Kamala Harris says all we need to know about how despicable this man is and how he has no business representing this country. If you needed a reason to vote, Donald Trump just gave it to you. He showed his contempt for black people. I'm Roland Martin on the Black Information Network.
Headlines every 30 minutes. Breaking news at once.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910. Here's what's trending this hour. Vice President Kamala Harris's husband is admitting to an affair during his first marriage. Travis Kelce credits the Taylor Swift effect for his newfound celebrity status. I'm Doug Davis, and that is the latest. On the Black Information Network.
Sha'Carri Richardson secured a silver medal in the women's 100-meter final at the Paris Olympics on Saturday. She was the last off the block and earned a silver medal after getting knocked off by St. Lucia's Julian Alfred. Richardson says a strong start can make or break a race.
Definitely been honing in on working on that first 30, showing that if I set up my first 30 properly, it will carry on down the rest of the track. Start to finish, my only mindset was to execute, knowing that as long as I execute, the race is going to handle itself.
Melissa Jefferson finished right behind Richardson to secure bronze for the United States. On the men's side, Team USA's Noah Lyles is the fastest man in the world. He won the gold medal in the 100-meter race with a time of 9.79 seconds, just 5 1/1000ths of a second ahead of Jamaica's Kashane Thompson. Lyles' win is the first for the U.S. in the event in 20 years. He took to social media with a message saying, "I have asthma, allergies, dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression. But I will tell you that what you have does not define what you can become." Meanwhile, in gymnastics, Suni Lee now has 3 medals from the Paris Olympics. The Team USA gymnast won the bronze in Sunday's uneven bars final. Lee took bronze in last week's women's individual all-around final and gold in the team all-around final. She now has 6 career Olympic medals. Sports at 14 and 44 minutes past each hour. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
The 23rd of August is recognized in many countries as the International Day for the Remembrance of the Transatlantic Slave Trade and its eventual abolition. The Day of Remembrance was selected by the UNESCO agency to acknowledge a historic slave uprising in the French colony of Santo Domingo, now known as Haiti. On the eve of August 22nd, 1791, African-American men and women revolted against slave owners. This uprising triggered the Haitian Revolution and eventually led to the island's independence from French colonizers in 1804. Over 200,000 Haitians perished during the multi-year conflict, along with thousands of French troops and colonists. The first Day of Remembrance occurred in Haiti in 1998. Today, countries around the world recognize this date and its contribution towards abolishing the slave trade. And that's a fact. I'm Wesson Tishon for the Black Information Network.
Staying informed has never been easier. Tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network station on iHeartRadio. Entertaining news on the Black Information Network. Drake is giving his fans something to look forward to later this year. During R&B star Party Next Door's concert in Toronto on Friday night, Drake took to the stage to perform an hour-long set of his own. At the end of the performance, he told his hometown fans that he's working on a new collaboration album with Party Next Door. He told the crowd when it gets a little chilly, Party Next Door and Drake's album will be waiting right there for you. Drake's last album, For All the Dogs, debuted at the top of the Billboard 200 chart when it was released last October. In other celebrity news, Benny the Butcher is surprising fans with a new album. The rapper took to social media to announce that Summertime Butch will arrive later this week. The new project follows Everybody Can't Go, which came out in January. Summertime Butch dropped on August 9th. And actor Wesley Snipes has claimed 2 Guinness World Records after his appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine. Snipes now holds the record for the longest career as a live-action Marvel character. His return as Blade came nearly 26 years after he first played the character in 1998. Snipes also claimed the Guinness World Record for the longest gap between character appearances in a Marvel film. The last time he played Blade was over 19 years ago. With the latest in entertainment news at 17 and 47 minutes past each hour, I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On the Bay Area's BIN 9.
Let's take it up. Look at this grind heading up to Sonoma Grade on northbound 680. You see traffic slowing down on you just past Washington Boulevard. That's going to carry you out to Calaveras Road. Want to check northbound 880 heading out of Fremont. You see traffic slowing at Decoto Road. That's going to carry you into Hayward out to Winton Avenue. Also seeing heavy traffic heading into Berkeley on eastbound 80. That slows in Oakland just past 880. From there, you got to be slow in stretches up to San Pablo Dam Road. Also, heading out of Vallejo, we are seeing some heavy traffic once you work your way off the Cardenas Bridge. Westbound 80 after the Crockett exit, we're getting word of an accident that's blocking the second lane from the left. This has traffic backed up to mid-span of the Cardenas Bridge. With Bay Area traffic, I'm going to east for the Black Information Network.
Trusted Black News.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Trey Thomas.
And I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 news, the Black Information Network.
Ohio Senator J.D. Vance is defending his place as Donald Trump's running mate. In an interview with Fox News Sunday Morning Features, Vance was asked about criticisms that he's a poor choice to be Trump's vice presidential nominee.
Look, I recognize that there are a lot of folks, even in the GOP establishment and certainly on the far left, who don't like the fact that Donald Trump picked me. I actually take their criticism as a badge of honor.
Vance argued that the media will attack people they fear the most. He said he plans to make the case against Vice President Kamala Harris and show that Americans were more prosperous during Trump's time as president.
The largest newspaper in North Carolina is calling on the state's Republican Party to drop its support for gubernatorial nominee Mark Robinson over a series of disturbing reports. The News and Observer's editorial board wrote Robinson is not deserving of office or their vote. The lieutenant governor, who is black, has been evicted in the past for not paying rent, declared bankruptcy 3 times, and failed to file taxes between 1998 and 2002. Raw Story reports the State Department of Health and Human Services recently announced that a nonprofit run by his wife must repay $132,000 for submitting disallowed expenses to a federally funded child care meal program.
The Christian organization Faithful America is demanding the impeachment of conservative Supreme Court Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito over gifts from billionaires.
The group sent a petition to Congress with over 7,400 signatures that express deep concern about unreported gifts from Christian nationalist activists. Interview reports the letter calls on Congress to co-sponsor articles of impeachment introduced by Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Justice Thomas allegedly accepted undisclosed gifts from billionaire Harlan Crow, while Justice Alito is accused of failing to disclose a luxury fishing trip paid for by hedge fund manager Paul Singer. I'm Morgan Wood for the Black Information Network.
And several staff members at Royal Elementary School in Florence, South Carolina, were fired for dressing as Border Patrol agents and Mexicans in stereotypical clothing at a school event last week. According to the New York Post, the staffers wore the offensive outfits for an Olympic parade event during a professional development day before the first day of school. Dozens of parents and community members condemned the pictures as racist and unacceptable.
U.S. Senator Tim Scott is no longer a bachelor. The South Carolina Republican married interior designer Mindy Noche in a private ceremony at a